let's challenge the status quo. There is a popular sentiment against media that is dated. Well, I believe when done right, there's actually something very endearing about a piece of media that is so ingrained with the era that it came out in. So here's a little known fact about me. Little known because you've never seen me before. I'm assuming you're new on this channel. One of my favorite games of all time, if you can try and guess what game that might be, is it's still going. I'm not done yet. Hold on. This is the rest of the copies that I have, like, physically, as I do have this game also digitally a bunch. Is my favorite game of all time is a game called Thrillville Off the Rails. Now, this game is the complete epitome of mid-2000s teenage family-friendly / kid culture. It's my favorite game of all time, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is a time capsule of the first era that I was ever conscious of. I mean, I'm a 2000s kid, so while I may have been there during the early 2000s, I was not conscious until the mid 2000s, which is when this game came out / takes place. I mean, from the soundtrack, the ideals, the slang. They have tracks from Natasha Bedingfield, Jesse McCartney, The Vines, Boys Like Girls, Ashley Tisdale, Miley Cyrus. It's literally just like a playground for mid-2000s culture, and I love it a lot. But also, little known fact is that my first video game I ever played was on the Xbox original back in either 2003 or it was sometime before. It was sometime around 2000. Earliest it could have been was 03. Latest it could have been was 05. I'm leaning towards 04, but I'm not too sure. But it is The Simpsons Road Rage on the original Xbox, and I still have like the memory of going to GameStop with my father to pick this game out, and the only reason why I got it was because it had like cartoon characters with like cute colors. This was the first video game I ever played. This is the original copy too. This is the exact game. I've had this for 20 years at this point, over 20 years potentially. Matt, the reason why I'm showing you this is because a game series that I feel like is very much tied to the era that it came out in is a game called Crazy Taxi, which actually the Simpson Road Rage got sued. The developers of the game, I believe, got sued by Sega, who created Crazy Taxi, because they're all like, you copied our game and you can't do that. So it's supposed to be a segue, but I'm really shit at making videos. It was supposed to be, it was like Crazy Taxi, like this was my first video game, and they got sued by Sega, who are the creators of Crazy Taxi, and Crazy Taxi is a game that came out in like 1999 or 1998 that's very much tied to the era that it came. I tried to be smooth with it, but I'm just a clumsy bastard. So I'm sure everybody by now is pretty much aware that a new Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio game are coming out or being developed, which is so amazing, no? I remember getting into Jet Set Radio back in 2012 when it came out for the PlayStation 3. It's been 12 years, man, and I fell in love with that whole entire era, that whole entire genre of game, and it's something that I feel like is so unique for games that ooze a specific era, is that, again, not only is it a time capsule of the era, but it's also a time capsule of the attitude, the mood, and the music that encapsulated that era, that it just can become a sort of DeLorean is not the word. What is the DeLorean in Back to the Future? A time machine! Yes, noun! I know trivia. A time machine back to that certain era. That's what Thrillville is to me. A time capsule back, a time machine back to the first era that I was ever present in life, which is, yeah, it's so cute. I always think about how, because Crazy Taxi came out in the very, very late 90s. And then Jet Set Radio, I'm pretty sure, came out in like 2001. Either 2001 or 2000. And I always wonder how culturally these games can modernize themselves, I guess, because I always think back to this game, Thrillville. I keep wanting to show it off. It's my favorite game of all time. I'm always wondering, like, how would a modern version of those games work today? Because of course you have the staples of the 2000s in this game. Like I said, Jesse McCartney, Natasha Bedingfield, they have so many hitters, but like, who would be on the soundtrack today? Like, I'm always wondering, like, of course, besides like Hideki Naganuma, who was the composer for Jet Set Radio, there are also licensed music in the second Jet Set Radio game, which I never played, Jet Set Radio Future. That also came out for the Xbox. I think it was the 360, not the Xbox original. But that had tracks from the time, which I'm not too sure when that game released. Jet Set Radio Future. That game came out in 2002. And I put out a tweet. And it was usually, when I put out tweets, it's usually because I don't want to make a video about it. But I actually do want to talk about this, because I'm just all like, what sort of artists would be used in a modern day Jet Set Radio game / Crazy Taxi game? Because we already see what these games look like. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't even want to talk about this. I'm not, like, Jet Set Radio, the new one, it looks amazing to me. I love the way that it looks. The Crazy Taxi game, I'm not gonna hold you, gang. It low-key kind of looks like a mobile game. And to be fair, these games are still in development, so you can't really even judge the way games look based off the first trailer, because they're gonna look different. Not vastly different, but I don't know. The Jet Set Radio game is looking good. The Crazy Taxi game looks like you know those mobile games that they advertise on YouTube? And it's these CGI trailers, but then when you look at it, it looks like a fucking Final Fantasy Tactics game. That's a reference that's gonna go over. It, like the CGI trailer looks nothing like the actual game, is what I'm trying to say. Final Fantasy Tactics. Not me throwing shade. Oof, yeah, no, I was spot on the money. I was spot on the money. It looks like a cutscene of Final Fantasy 15, but the gameplay looks like a Final Fantasy Tactics game. Listen, that's what it strikes. That's what it looked like to me. But again, we might not even see that game until like 2028. Who knows? But it's just like the Tony Hawk games as well, right? Like, the Crazy Taxi games very much have late 90s pop punk. Jet Set Radio has, to a certain degree, the same as well, but there's also this other alternative twinge to it as well that I love, that I have not been able to find. When I first played Jet Set Radio, I fell in love with the music, specifically the tracks. Well, all the tracks in the first game, I'm pretty sure, are composed by Naganuma. But I've yet to find any sort of sound that no, not all the tracks are composed by Naganuma. There are some there were some underground artists from the Japanese scene, but even them, they're not like King Vader. That's a Viner. What was it called? Jet radio. Vader. Guitar Vader! They were my favorite! Super brother! Oh no, that is so cringe. I gotta stop that. Oh my god. No, edit that out. Edit that out. Please don't put that in the video. No, oh my god! Yo, they have to get some more underground Japanese artists in the next I really do hope they do so. That is gonna be so dope. Like, I wonder what type of modern, if they even go with modern artists if they even go with modern artists for Crazy Taxi, because who knows, they could keep to 90s artists or like very early 2000s pop punk artists. I hope they don't, because, well, I mean, either way, I'm still gonna play the game. I'm still gonna love it. But I think it would just be interesting to see a modern version with modern artists. And when I say modern artists, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying like put Billie Eilish or like Olivia Rodriguez.
Olivia Rodriguez, y'all know that little Mexican girl that be singing all them sad songs.
I literally told myself not to say that, and I said it. I still say Olivia Rodrigo. I'm not saying stuff like that, and by the way, I don't hate those artists. They make hits, but you know how people get when it comes to like modern music, you know what I mean? But I mean, just imagine. I gotta start listening to some underground. I gotta start listening to alternative. I love alternative culture, nigga. I do. That shit is in my veins. You know what I do? Oh no, I am sporadic. I have an attention issue. What am I talking about? I had notes for this video, but I haven't been keeping to them. Again, things defined by their era are so cute to look at. And that's the reason why I'm curious as to how they're going to modernize it, or what the new sound is going to be like, because I often think about what exactly defines the current era that we're in, of music, sound, mood, attitude, all of that. And because I'm not the target demographic of media anymore, any adult, we're not really the target of media, because it's a whole thing. I don't really know what the sound is anymore. What is popular anymore? I don't know. I also don't really care, but it's also, I know the love that I have for this game in particular is tied to just the love that I have of the mid 2000s. And it's so interesting to see old properties bring themselves back. And I wonder if they're going to stick to the older sound, or if they're going to try something new, which I think a little bit of both would be good, because it's been I don't know, man. I just love video games. I love video games. I just wonder. Imagine they get Guitar Vader. No, they can't, because Guitar Vader broke up, and I'm sure. Well, I don't know if they're still in contact with each other. But I almost did a deep dive on Guitar Vader, because their tracks. I love their music so much. Like, outside of the ones that are in Jet Set Radio, I love their music. But I love video games, nigga. Oh my god! I'm so curious as to what this game is gonna be like, man. And like the newer mechanics of like how gaming has progressed. Think about it, because Crazy Taxi originally started as an arcade game. And like now we're like, what? It's been, I'm not good at maths. It's been like 26 years, maybe? 1998, 28, I assume. Ooh. Yeah, you know, 26, somewhere around there. Just like the technology, the gaming world has changed. Oh. I don't know. I didn't really have anything else I wanted to say. I just... That really was a tweet that I should have just kept as a tweet. This really didn't need to be a video. I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you all about that. I just think games that are tied to a certain era, when it's not, because there are times when it can get a bit corny, but when it's done right, it just becomes a staple of that era for people who didn't grow up in that era to look back on and be like, yo, this is amazing. But also for people who came from that era to be like, this was my time. And that is just amazing. Yeah, it's been Justice, Eve, Evelyn, and I'll see you lot. I'm trying to think of a pun. On the road. Yeah! I'm so fucking corny.